Yo, what's good, everyone? So I'm gonna go through all my loadouts and explain why I use each thing, if it's lethal, tactical, what I pair with which, and the perks I use. So I'm gonna jump right into it, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and thank you guys, appreciate it. All right, so the first class I have here is my Kar 98, pretty standard, mono, sin guard, tac laser, sniper scope, stippled grip tape for mobility, and I use the cross thread reticle. That's the one I like. I used to use the default one, but I switched over this one because I do think it's better for visibility and stuff like that. I pair that with this MAC-10, which is the agency suppressor, rifled barrel, field agent underbarrel, 53 round drum. And the reason I use the drum is because I like the reload animation versus the other fast mag, and then I use it with no stock. So that's my first class, and I use a throwing knife, double time, overkill, amped. The reason I always use double time and not EOD is because I want full mobility for my movement, because I rely a lot on my movement versus some Texas and stuff like that. The reason I use throwing knives on every single one of my classes is because, especially if you're playing quads and you want to say you down two people and you have two people up, and if you're using a MAC-10, right, you're gonna essentially use that 53 bullets to down two people and full kill them. But instead of using your ammo to full kill them, you just throwing knife one, run over the body and the loot, pick up the other knife and chuck it at the other kid. They're both full killed, and you still have ammo left if you're getting pushed by the third and the fourth person of the other squad. So that's why I always run throwing knives, is because I want to full kill without wasting more ammo. So I'm ready to fight the rest of the team if I need to, and it's kind of fun. Second class is my Ghost class, which is my Cold War MP5. And guys, if you have not tried this weapon, it's absolutely insane. The time to kill is much faster than the MAC-10. It has great mobility. It does have a bit of recoil, but once you get used to the pattern, it tends to be much easier to use. So I run this with no muzzle, task force barrel, bruiser grip, 50 round fast mag, serpent wrap, and no stock. Guys, give it a shot. Let me know what you think. As my secondary, which to be honest, I mainly drop it, but just in case I need it, is the Dai-Mati. And on that, I have agency suppressor, reinforced, steady aim laser, 30 round fast mag, and serpent wrap. And guys, all my perks are the same for the most part. I'm either using ghost or overkill. The other two perks, I'm using double timed and amps. I never use anything else. Third class, Kilo MAC-10. Kilo got nerfed in the ground. I really don't use the Kilo anymore unless I just want to switch it up, and I'm kind of missing it if I'm feeling nostalgic. But again, I don't really use it. But this is another MAC-10 build I use, which is with the infantry compensator, rifled barrel, same underbarrel, same ammunition, and then I put on the Raider stock for that insane movement. It's the sprint to fire time and the aim walking movement speed, so you can strafe really fast while you're shooting someone. My fifth class down is the Grau, and I'm confident that the Grau got shadow buffed. It's a pretty standard build, as you can see here, the same stuff that was used before when the Grau was ultimate meta, but I'm convinced that they shadow buffed the gun. So I've been using it a lot. I dropped 41 kills in duo trios with Jared at PS the other day with it, and it's absolutely insane. It deletes people, shreds, no recoil. Another MAC-10 build I have, it's a combat stock, which just has that shooting movement speed, which I really like. And then I'm using agency suppressor instead of the compensator, just to keep things fresh. This gun, you can use a lot of different attachments with the MAC-10, and it's still gonna be really good. I would say my favorite build on the MAC-10 though would be the one with the no stock, which was the first one on with my Kar 98. I'd say this is my favorite build, but I do like to switch it up. Next, I have the AUG, which people in the Warzone community have been kind of up in the air with this thing. I personally think it deletes. At range, it definitely struggles, but at medium range, it's a tank. You will kill people really fast, 2 to 3 bursts with this gun. So with that, I'm using infantry compensator, titanium barrel, 3 times axial, bruiser under grip. And the reason why everyone's using bruiser is because this grip is bugged. So essentially you're getting the same horizontal and vertical recoil that the field agent would give you, but more mobility. And that's what I've been using on the AUG. So I'm using it on the MP5 too. And then 45 round speed mag as well. Same stuff here, same perks, same lethal. And then we go on to the old freaking AMAX, which I love this gun so much. People hate it. You either hate it or you love it. But with that, I'm using mono, Zodiac, 3 times with the T-pose reticle. You have to use it 3 times or with the T-pose reticle. And if you're not using this reticle, there's something about it when you use the traditional default red dot, is it almost visibly looks like there's more recoil. I'm convinced of it. So I use the T-pose. I recommend you 100% unlock it and use it. And yeah, guys, I'm using that with the Commando and 45 round mag. Secondly, with the MAC-10, which I've showed you guys before, quick look at it, pretty standard. And then here's my M4, which is This is another nostalgia gun, but I think it still shreds. It's not the most viable gun. It's a little bit harder to use, especially since I'm using iron sights. But it's a lot of fun, and you can still drop really crazy high kill games with this thing, and it does shred. I wouldn't put it as a top tier weapon. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. You could also try with the VOK, take off the tack laser. You know, you could try that. And then I'm using that with an MP5, which is a little bit different of a build. I've just swapped out the no stock for the Raider stock. Like I said before, for that strafing movement speed. If you're on mouse and keyboard, I definitely recommend do not go with the no stock. Go with the Raider stock or the combat stock for that strafing speed. That's my advice to you. Next, we got the Bullfrog. This is probably one of my least used classes, but it is fun to use. The Bullfrog is underrated. The Ram 7, I can't get... I don't like the recoil pattern. It's another gun like the AMAX. People either hate it or love it. Here's my Bullfrog. The suppressor, task force, no stock, bruiser grip, 65 round speed bag. It does rip. It does rip people really quick. But yet again, I'd still rather use the Mag 10 or the the Cold War MP5. Here's Ram 7, pretty standard build, mono, Ranger barrel, VOK, commando, and 50. This, I'm not using the T-pose, using the regular default because I just feel it feels better on this gun with the recoil pattern. Last but not least, the DMR class. I mean, after the nerf, it's not as good as before, but if you can control that recoil and get down the rhythm of tapping your bullets, it has such a nice little bounce to it that you can just doink kids right out of a car. So standard build, agency, titanium 3 times, field agent, and 40 round mag. That's what I'm using with the DMR, and then another Mag 10 build, which is the same one. I use like a few different attachments. And again, guys, I know people are upset about the DMR. I think after the nerf, it's perfect. I think it's definitely much harder for the average player to use, but for skilled players, I think it's in the realm of being the best gun. Like if I'm in a kill race, I'm using the DMR. Or if I'm playing in Twitch Rivals, I'm using the DMR. Because at the end of the day, it's the best gun. And then I believe the AMAX follows that up. And then the K9 and the Mag 10, that's really what I go between. And I just realized I skipped my FFAR build with the Kar 98. So here's my FFAR, infantry compensator, takedown, combat stock, infiltrator grip, and 50 round speed mag. This gun is pretty crazy to have as a secondary, but I don't use it often because I need mobility. I need something like the MP5 or the Mag 10 or the Bullfrog. I need to be quick. This gun is bulky, but if you don't mind being a little bit slower running around the map, I'd use the FFAR over the MP5 or even the Mag 10. That's my advice to you. But if you care about being quick and you rely a lot on your movement and gunfights, I just wouldn't use this gun. So that's my advice to you. Those are my loadouts, guys. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them below in the comments. If you have any builds that you'd like me to try, I'd really love to. Drop them below in the comments as well. And I appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you in the stream, all right? Thanks. Peace, everyone.